I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
And now, our feature presentation.
And now, here's Andrew.
Andrew Z. How about that, Andrew Z? Say Andrew Z. In the morning, it's time to wake up. Andrew Z. In the morning, yeah. Come on. Good morning. Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Yeah, my Lord. Demetrius Nicodemus. Eastside, Southside, G different development media. Ashley P. Producing the show this morning is Tammy. Let's do this. Andrew Z. In the morning. Woo! Good morning. Ooh, I'm beat this morning. Beat this morning. Whew.
Why?
How's everyone else feeling? I just had a busy day yesterday. How are you doing, Ashley?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, amazing.
Am I echoing?
No, you sound perfect. Is she?
No, there's an echo.
I hear.
Oh, it's an echo for me too.
Really? I don't hear it.
Yay, it's nothing on my end.
Oh, now it's gone.
Now it's gone?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I'm good. You sound like all my kids almost. Allergies.
No,
Your stuffy nose?
I've just been battling a cold since like Thursday. What's day? Tuesday. Been battling just a cold since like Thursday. Just
You mean a cold vid?
Yeah. You mean allergies. No one gets cold or anything anymore. It's just
Yeah.
it's either allergies or you have COVID.
Yeah.
although it has been I spoke to a doctor friend of mine, and because there's always the conspiracy theory out that says, where'd the flu go,
Idiots.
He said it's very easily explained. When you're taking that many precautions and you're not around people and you're indoors and you've got masks on, then you're going to not have flu. He goes, if we did the exact same precautions every single year, we would hardly have any flu. He goes, it's because we're taking all the precautions.
Please, let's not do that. I don't want to do that. I would rather have the flu, honestly.
I know.
I really would.
It's not like people were like, you know what? Everybody came down with COVID. Now where'd cancer go? Where's cancer? Nobody gets cancer anymore because that's karma.
That's really easily explainable, D. See, if we were wearing masks all the time, then you wouldn't have cancer.
Yes.
Okay.
And where'd my $1 million go? Where'd my $1 million go?
Yeah.
Well, you would have wore a mask.
Have you seen the number of winners at Powerball have gone down significantly since COVID outbreak? Where's all the lottery winners? Those sons of bitches.
Yeah. See, if we were wearing masks the whole time.
I want to keep some stuff from this though. Like I want to keep the hand hygiene. Can we keep that? Can we just keep the hand hygiene?
That should have totally been a thing anyways.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people might have been doing it. But
I mean, I know
Anybody
I was, but the amount of people that went out and purchased hand sanitizer and hand soap and stuff like that makes me think maybe they weren't. But I want to keep.
So something funny that like before COVID, I use Windex for everything. I know that's like so funny, but like I'm a Windex person. It works for everything. Like I know it's not antibacterial per se, but it's just always worked for us. So I never like bought the wipes or whatever. And then so when COVID hit and everybody was like freaking out about getting antibacterial wipes, I was like, shit, I should probably get some of those, and could not find them ever anywhere. Until recently. And so now whenever I go to the store and it's like stocked, I grab some. So I have like 5 extra bottles of these wipes that I've never even, and I use them now, but it's like I've never used them before. But now I have to grab some when I'm there because it's like, well, they're stocked, so I should get some.
That's what I do with toilet paper. I've accidentally become a toilet paper hoarder. I didn't mean to, and I didn't
How
panic.
do you accidentally become a
Because-
toilet paper hoarder?
Because when at first,
like you wake up one day and you're like, oh shit, you're sucking dick for toilet paper?
well, no, but
like you're like,
for
oh
other
my
things.
God, I think I'm a hoarder.
Oh,
no. So I didn't say whore. I said hoarder.
Yeah.
Hoarder. Okay.
Put a
So
you're a
DR on
whore
it,
for
it's all
toilet
the
paper.
same.
So I was gone. Like I'm a brand snob with toilet paper, and when like COVID came and everybody went out and got toilet paper, I couldn't find my brand, so I had to use Angel Soft, and I hate Angel Soft with a fiery passion. So I'm
Really?
like, yes, I hate it. It's
Why?
What's your
it's the
choice?
worst.
What's your toilet paper of choice then?
Yeah.
Charmin Soft, like specifically, not
Oh.
Ultra Soft, not no, it's got to be Charmin Soft. So
Dude, when
couldn't
I go
find
to
it
heaven,
anywhere.
I'm gonna wipe my ass on an angel just to see.
Just to see. Well, see, I mean, the brands can say what they want about who's the softest, who's the strongest, but
Right.
when it comes down to it, ass don't lie.
So
when the ass don't lie.
Like, I can't wait to be in heaven, wipe my ass on an angel, and go, damn, they were right.
it's
Or it was.
Bears were right.
Or they were wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
So I now whenever I see it in stock, like whenever I see it, I just grab one. Like I don't grab a ton, I just grab one, and then I just come home and I toss it in the closet and I go about my life. So I was like organizing like a few weeks ago, and I have like 12 bags of toilet paper. in there.
Nice.
I'm like, holy crap, I have so much toilet paper. And I did the same thing with butter. And so like every time I went to the store for a while, I would grab a thing of butter because we couldn't find it. So now I have like 7 things of butter in my freezer. And I'm not Paula Deen.
Why
I don't cook
butter?
like that.
Huh.
I don't
Yeah.
because I couldn't find it at one time. So in my mind, I better grab some when I see it.
That is
Right.
so funny.
Yeah.
Who's going back to licking your fingers when you rifle through paperwork? Who's doing that after COVID?
I couldn't
Anyone?
do that.
I've been doing it. It's so bad.
You stopped?
What?
Yeah.
When people
I had
do
to.
that, when I'm out somewhere and people do that, it makes me gag. Like the minute I see you lick your finger and touch anything that I have to touch, I instantly start gagging.
Really?
Think about
Anything-
how good our immune.
Like
think about how good our immune
even
systems are, though.
night naughty time when
No.
Doug
No.
goes
I'm out in public. When other people
Stop.
other
Oh
people
my
do
God.
it when we're out in public, like when I took my daughter to Donnie for the car, and Donnie goes through paperwork and he was licking his finger, and I love Donnie so much, but I was like, ugh.
Dude,
I can't.
I was the worst. I still remember the last time I did it. It was like March 17th, 2020. And my buddy was like, Donnie, that's it. No more of that. And I was like, no more. It's just
what do
something
you-
we don't do anymore.
What do you use now for sticky papers?
Nothing. You just sit there and you mess with it for like 5 minutes. Like,
No, they make
You should
know
get
they-
one of those
they
little
make-
rubber thumb tips.
they make like
No. They
little
don't work.
condoms that you can do.
they make little trays that you can sit on your desk too and just kind of put your
No,
fingers
no
in.
one does
but-
that.
There's
Nothing
like
works.
this little wax stuff that you can get too that just like it's in
It
a little
doesn't work the
container
same.
it's on your desk
Yeah.
and you can grab it. So it's like
It's not the
tacky.
same.
Spit's
It's
the only
like
thing
a
that
force
works.
of habit, though. Like it's
I just hit the
it's like a brain thing.
Yeah.
It's so
Right.
gross, you guys. I'm so glad. I hope that's gone forever. Like I hope that's just totally extinct.
I still to this day have to catch myself because when I use those thank you bags, that those plastic bags, and they stick together really bad to where like I'll rub together like I'm I don't know, like I'm a cricket for like ever.
Salt Bay. Your Salt Bay.
Yeah, and then
Master of the world's smallest violin.
I know, yes. And
I have a trick for that for the grocery
What?
store if anybody wants to know it.
what?
And I came up with it
Oh.
all by myself, and I was so proud.
Weird.
Okay,
You're hacked.
so mostly it's for produce, right? That you
Uh-huh.
have to open those little baggies. So you
Yes.
go over to the area that they water
Mhm.
the veggies or whatever. Get your
Mhm.
hand a little bit wet and rub it together, and then go open your bag.
So you're
What do you
saying
touch to get your
molest?
hand wet?
You're saying molest some vegetables and
No.
then go open a bag.
Okay. Oh wait, let me edit. A vegetable that you're already gonna buy anyways. What?
Oh.
Like, don't just go touch any random vegetable. Like,
Uh,
buy, like,
bro,
touch
so
the
Whoa.
product.
You almost
Touch
got
the product
canceled,
you're
babe.
gonna have. I know.
No.
Touch the product you're going to buy, and then open your bag.
So don't go
Have you-
like molest a cucumber and then go grab like 6 apples.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Oops, I should have added that in.
Go ahead, Tifo.
Have you ever been in there where you're molesting the vegetables and then the sprinklers just start? Like you're getting there, you're
Oh,
grabbing
yes.
the vegetables you want.
I get so
and then the
offended.
sprinklers just start.
No, I've been trying that for
No.
years.
The worst.
Dude,
Can't get there.
that's when I slow it down and make it sexy.
I usually
Because-
look around for like the person that did it. I'm like, who the fuck did that?
I'm mad at Kroger because when they're it used to be when I first moved here and their sprinklers started on their vegetables, it started playing "Singing in the Rain" in the air like there was a speaker, and it
That's
started
awful.
playing it, and they stopped doing that a while ago, and I'm very upset.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Last time I was there and the sprinkler started, I tilted my head back and I pulled my shirt up.
Sure, yeah, it was like flash. then I
And
grabbed
that's why
40
Andrew
Ams.
can't shop at Kroger anymore.
Right.
Da-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na.
It was exhilarating.
It's good stuff.
That was Gloria, if anybody wanted to know that Donnie was singing.
Yeah,
Nobody did. Nobody
Name
I
that
don't remember
tune.
the song.
It's
That
like
was
his
good.
favorite
That was
song,
good,
so
Gina.
I already know it.
What's the song from Flashdance when she pulls the water down
the
on her?
maniac?
Yeah.
And she does like the jogging in place thing in the water. Yeah.
Small
Yeah.
town on a Saturday night,
Yes, back when
looking for
you could strip and weld.
in the
and
real
nobody
time
looked
where
down.
no one
Jesus
sees her at
Christ,
all.
Chris!
Tifo, what the hell are you doing?
It got stuck in my
You
head,
singing?
and it's fucking Andrew's fault. It's stuck in my head.
You just run over everybody. Tifo's got something
No,
to
that was
say.
an accident. I honestly didn't realize I was doing it.
Is it an accident every time though? Because it happens all the time.
Fucking Andrew interrupted me like 3 times yesterday. None of you fuckers said a thing.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad Tifo's back.
Aw, I feel bad. Tifo, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Tif.
Keep being you.
Yeah.
The song just got stuck in my head. I apologize.
That's what I tell my
Well, we didn't
kids.
know you were
Keep
singing
being
the
you.
lyrics. We thought you were just mumbling something.
I know.
Yeah.
It was literally, yeah. What's up?
Go ahead, D.
I forgot it now. Now I'm done. Done. Fucking, I'm done. I was like, I don't. It's like trying to argue. It's like trying to talk over an EKG machine.
I know, dude. No.
Dub says that to me all the time though. I'll be telling him something and he like last night's just one example. There he is. Hi babe, I love you. Last night's just one example. It drives me crazy. Like I was telling him about a friend of mine wants him and I to go to the Virgin Islands with them. And so I was talking about it with them and he's like, there's a guy sitting over there. It was like some guy sitting like in a median or something in the middle of but he does it all the time. So like he just randomly says stuff in the middle of me talking and I'll just stop talking. Like, okay, fine. You're not paying attention. I'm done talking. He gets so pissed. Yeah.
Natasha's head of the Tifo fan club said, leave Tifo alone. Of course,
Aw.
she's the head of the fan club. She's the president. She's the vice president. She's the treasurer. She is the only member.
Member. Yeah.
I would think I would be a part
and
of that
she's-
club too.
and
I
she's-
don't like Tifo
I'm in the
getting
club.
as much.
She's constantly
I'm a
chasing
member.
herself down for dues.
Tifo.
Hey, time to pay. It's a yearly.
Why
We can't do all
watching the
the
show?
We
That's
can't
how she
do all the
pays.
activities that we want to do if people don't pay their membership fees.
Natasha? Okay,
Natasha. Well, Natasha, I swear to you, Natasha, I'll put it in the mail tomorrow. Natasha, you know I'm good for it, girl. Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting on my stimulus check, girl. You gonna get it?
No, Mama Z, I do believe that your typo was actually
Yes.
the correct one. She tried to fix it, but no.
Yeah,
Definitely
no.
the group club.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of members.
I was saying, if you're paying dues to be part of a club in favor of me, you are wasting your money.
Well, I'm not gonna
Start an
pay for it.
OnlyFans.
I'm just gonna say, like,
Yeah.
don't pick on him.
You can check him out on his OnlyFans page
I'll use my
Where-
voice to pay.
Where
he rubs peanut butter on his belly over and over again until you're satisfied.
D, for him, we dropped the S. It's just OnlyFan. Just one.
Because Natasha's the only subscriber.
I need my own. I need my own like Brittany, leave her alone guy.
Yes,
that's what I need.
That Natasha would be very good for that role. It sounds like she's a good advocate for you for that.
So would any of you guys have like an OnlyFans page?
Yes.
Like
yes.
Yeah,
I've tried to get one for years.
I'm serious. I'm like from everything that I read and watch on like these weird. It seems just to be like a sex website. So would you guys, any of you guys, be comfortable, doing something that is, let's say, like borders on fetishes? Like say there's like Andrew that you got a foot thing. Like would you do a foot fetish site or any kind of thing for an OnlyFans page?
Would he pay
for free yesterday?
Would he have one, or would he pay for it?
No. Like, would you have one? Would you
First
put
of all, if somebody has a
there?
foot thing, Andrew is not going to be their go-to. His feet are like Fred Flintstone feet. They're awful, Demetrius. They're awful. They look like
people are
somebody
into that shit. Maybe they want to see him stomp out forest fires, and that's their thing.
He's got Frodo feet.
But
some people like that stuff.
Some people like Frodo feet.
Yeah,
like I would totally do a page. Sorry, D. I would do a page where just I do normal stuff. Like I walk around.
No. You don't get to
vacuum.
No, he wants to be naked while he's doing it. You guys don't let him twist it.
No, not naked. Tiny tight shorts.
So you would walk. All right.
I don't know if there's a market for that, babe, but maybe.
Oh, there totally is.
Let's not change the line here. It's not your ideal OnlyFans. It's sex OnlyFans, right? It's a weird sex thing. It's not, what you'd be comfortable with. I'm asking, let's go outside of comfort. And would you put yourself out there if it meant that you would be making $60,000 a month in subscription?
What? Yes.
I mean, that's not a hesitation. Yes. There's not a ton of things. The list of things I wouldn't do for $60,000 a month is shorter than the list of things, or is longer than the list of things I would. No, wait. Yeah. Anyway, you get my point.
So basically your answer is yes. Yeah. Okay.
So $60,000 a month, let's say, and all right, I don't want to get weird, but let's say
it's already there. So.
I know it's already weird. All right,
let's roll, baby.
For $60,000 a month, you would let like Dubs off camera pee on you if you knew that was going to bring you $60,000.
As long as it's Dubs. I mean, I don't want random strangers pissing on me. Like as long as it's him. For $60,000, D. Are you serious?
$60,000 a month. Yes, I am. Month. If I'm saying, okay. That's a $750,000 a year, bro. Okay.
Yes, piss on me. Fuck it, I'll let strangers piss on me too.
I understand that. I know how much money that is a year, but can you literally? Would you, outside of just the money, who else does that affect? Are your kids because I guarantee you,
kids.
Fuck them kids. So $60,000 a month, you would be cool with Dubs pissing on you.
They would be living their best life.
Okay, Ashley,
Mama's piss money.
$60,000 a month. $60,000 a month. You get. There's no worries. You sell houses because it's fucking fun now. $60,000 a month.
At this time of my life, no, I wouldn't.
No.
I mean,
we have OnlyFans, and it doesn't pull that much in. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's because Ashley's holding you back.
So
listen,
all right.
You won't do anything.
Go do whatever you want, babe. I guess just don't show your damn face.
60. Well, people got to see the face.
Although
nobody's
he's easily
Just
identifiable.
the chest.
He's easily identifiable below the waist. So.
Yeah. Wow. So
I'm talking about
it's either really big or really small.
Donnie, $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month. What are you willing to do for an OnlyFans page?
Well, first off, not to get too graphic, but right. I used to have a very large, softball sized testicle before I had it taken care of surgically. I don't know if you guys remember that.
What?
But,
I do.
And I used to
I do. It
Why
looked
are
like
you
you were.
acting so surprised? I feel like everyone knows
Well,
this.
Yeah.
Well,
I did not know
it was
this.
kind of after the show.
Oh,
After the radio show, it kind of got about the size of a softball. And I told Ashley, I said, because I had surgery scheduled to take care of it, and I was like, babe, if we do an OnlyFans, like there is no like giant nutsack porn out there. I've searched. We have a niche. I could be the only one. There's no giant ball sack porn. There just isn't.
Did you use incognito mode?
What?
Or is that it? Did you use incognito mode, or is that in your history?
All right.
I don't know. It was a while back. But so then I got the surgery. I was like, man, we missed our window. But now there's a giant scar on it. I'm like, there's no scar sack porn. Like we could have the market cornered on scar sack porn.
If I wasn't at work, I'd fact check you.
Donald, I would just hesitate to think who would use those keywords when searching for porn. Like scar.
Well, it would be.
And
Look at
porn.
it would be one of those things. To be a novelty. It'd be like a joke. Everybody's gonna look at scar sack once, like say hello to my little friend.
I want my sack to look like it survived.
It's like a circus freak. You gotta see it once.
Okay.
I want to.
So what I'm hearing, Donald, is that you're pretty much open to anything when it comes
Don's a yes.
60 G's a month. Like you're cool.
wait,
I've got
hold on.
written already.
Hey, Donnie, is the scar in any sort of particular design? Like, could you pass it off as Harry Potter, like Harry Sack?
Oh,
Are you familiar with Frankenstein?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so everyone's talking all over each other. We need to settle down just a little bit. Donnie, why did you have a giant? Was there a problem or was it normal? Like, was it the size?
It was from multiple blunt force trauma over the last 10, 15 years.
Before me, by the way, it wasn't from me.
Okay, why are you getting hit in the nuts over and over and over and over?
Well, when I was younger, it was from like getting into like scrums.
Was that a trick you did and like you show everybody at parties and stuff? Just from years of like for instance, Jerry Lewis, he would always he was a great comedian. He would always fall. So then he got arthritis in his back from doing all the falls. So was this like, hey, look at me, I hit myself in the balls, and then you're like, after years of doing this trick and making everyone laugh, now this is the sad clown after effects to where now you've got giant
no
sack. No,
I took a couple really hard shots, like when I was in college. I'm just fighting with my friends and stuff, bar type stuff,
dude.
And
it was. Yeah, you call them friends? Go ahead, D.
Okay, and so all right.
After you win,
like I remember that stage, and I think Donnie and I like at one point had talked about what was going on down there, but for a long time, like that's a hard conversation to have with a friend when you're like, hey, I don't know if you're like smuggling people over the border in your sweatpants, but there is something going on. And like, are you okay? Like, have you seen a doctor? Like, what is like your nut is nodding at me? Like, yes, we've been to the doctor. Like, it's like, yes, we're fine, Daddy.
well, for a long time, it was only like double size, which was still big, but it wasn't a huge deal. But then, like when I started having the girls, like the younger three, like when they were babies, they would jump on my lap and stuff, and that kind of like kicked it into high gear, and to the point where I was at work, and my friends were like, "Dude, you got to do something with that."
Go ahead.
What is it about little kids? Like, I was living with my brother when my nieces and nephews were born, and like they'd come in the morning to wake me up, and they'd all jump on the bed, and it was like they were targeting that zone specifically, every single one of them, or like any other circumstances. It's like they didn't want cousins, and they just kept going there. Like, I don't understand that.
So
I remember when. Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Ash.
Well, Dee was saying that, like, having that hard conversation, but when we were all hanging out on Sunday, I remember I was just randomly thinking about when we had hung out like a couple years ago before his surgery, and Kara texted me on like a Monday, and she's like, "Listen, I don't want to overstep my boundaries or anything, but we're really, really worried about Donnie." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like, she had me nervous. Like, it was going to be something really horrible. And I was like, "Oh shit. What did I say?"
It was the size of a human fist.
Yeah. I was like,
that-
okay, yeah, he's going to the doctor. It was so funny though.
And that was literally conversations like she and I had for like days about whether or not we should say something. And we were like, is it our place? Is it a HIPAA violation? What are we doing? How do we get this? How do we bring it up? Do we like just blow up balloons and then slowly decrease it and then say, hey, these are what they're supposed to look like? But like what? How?
Should we take him to the zoo? Hey, speaking of elephants, Donnie.
So Donnie, like, I know a lot of guys. It's nothing I ever got into, but I know a lot of guys would see each other, friend wise, and they just hit each other nuts. It's a dude thing. Like, they would just hit each other. Like, that was a game.
When was that ever a thing?
That was a thing.
High
You don't have any
school.
you don't have any
For
dudes
sure.
friends. People don't like to hang around you. But
Catholic
Well,
school.
first off, I have friends, and I've had dude friends, and never once have we thought it was funny to hit each
You said
other in
have
the
had.
nuts.
it's
Yeah.
very.
Because I can only
Try to hit me in
assume.
the nuts, so I defriend them.
Go ahead, Demetrius.
I could only assume how sensitive all your friends' balls were back then, being all blue. Dude, don't even brush him. Don't brush him.
So Donnie, was that where it came from? Did you play this game with your friends? You seem like a guy that would play that game with your friends. Where you try to sneak up and attack?
Are you saying
no.
that Donnie seems like the kind of guy who would play wiener games with his friends? The answer would be yes. He did and has.
Let's not talk about Chad's swollen asshole from 1980 from the towel snapping incident.
No, but here's why I say this, because if that's true, Donnie, if you like your friend sees you and they sneak up on you and then smack you in the balls or whatever, which is, like I said, a game a lot of guys play, there may need to be a PSA out there. If the end result is you could years later, like, there could be trauma from all the hits to the nuts, then people need to know about that, because I didn't know that was a thing. Is that how it
People need to know.
Yes, people need to know.
It was
Hell,
it was one specific fight that my friends and I got into downtown in about the year 2000.
Okay.
And we were fighting the bouncers downtown, and we lost horribly. And there was a point where I was just like kind of covered up, and they couldn't really get to me anywhere. So they started like taking multiple shots in between the legs, and I went down. They grabbed me and threw me out of the bar. And as I was walking, limping with my face swollen, another friend of mine came over a fence, like sideways with his shirt off, and kind of landed on his feet. He's like, "Donnie, let's get back in there. Let's get back in there." I was like, "We'll get him next time, bro. We'll get him next time." but so it was. I remember it was like one specific night. It was like 3 shots right there, boom, by some very large human that pretty much started it on a.
For Angela Maria, she said it's the kids will go nut check and then bam. He said my son and his friends would do that all the time, and I know that. And like I said, I know there's dudes that do that. But Donnie, you don't seem like the get in the fight kind of guy. You obviously were not the instigator, because you do have friends that where the testosterone runs
not once.
thick. Or no,
Yeah, when I was in college, we were in a million fights, and it never had anything to do with me ever. I was the guy that was like trying to like talk to the people. And then all of a sudden, everyone will be fighting, and I was like, "Okay, here we go."
That's what I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question for Donnie here. So, like,
Yes.
it's the first question though is did the growth start happening before or after you met Ashley?
Before,
Like did it start before? So because Demetrius was saying earlier, like just describing its size and how it looked, and I'm just wondering if Ashley felt cheated after they got together. Like she saw it, and then
I
the
don't
reveal.
I don't think women wake up in the morning and go, you know what I really want is a huge nut sack.
I mean,
I don't
one of
get
the
it.
first.
I'm not saying she would assume the whole thing was nutsack.
Tell them the truth, babe.
Well,
The package in her pants. In his
one of
pants.
our first like interactions, which we just had an argument a couple weeks ago about what was the true first time, but he did a show at Grumpy Dave's in Bowling Green, and I just remember like, so the stage is like a little elevated, and then you sit like right in front of it, so you're kind of maybe eye level with that part of the anatomy.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember like looking at him like, holy shit, what is in there? So like I thought it was kind of hot and it was like big. So I was like, dang, all right. But
I'm
over
knowing I wear
time,
baggy jeans.
yeah, but over time it just got to the point where I was just like,
Obnoxious.
it doesn't like
Didn't
my main
stop growing.
concern was for him when he was at work and he would wear dress pants. And I was like, these customers might be feeling awkward. So you got to like, I guess it's time now. You got to do
How many
something.
sales did he get?
Yeah, you just like
I'll find a picture for you guys.
There would be no one else in the showroom, but it'd be a line of old single women, widows for Donnie.
Yeah.
To help him.
Yeah, it probably helped
Ma'am,
his
this is-
business. Damn, we
ma'am-
should have kept it. Just kidding.
Right?
this your fourth car this week, ma'am. You bought
Right.
4 cars for me this week, and she's like, no, they're all. I just need new ones. This is. Oh, can I touch it?
So when
What does a big one do for you? Like, I feel like that part of being big is irrelevant to me. Like, it doesn't do anything.
I'll tell you later, Gina.
But no.
But
Yeah, we gotta have a conversation.
Hold on.
I'm going to Teams today, Ashley. Why don't you ride with me?
First
And
off,
we
I
can
gotta
talk
work.
about it.
darn it, but I do want to tell you.
Natasha
Okay.
said the balls do nothing for us as women, Tifel. So
Yeah, I wasn't saying that she assumed it was all ball in there.
right. But at the time, when you get the package, you don't assume it's all ball. Who would assume?
Like you're,
Can I? But we're
Yeah, she
like,
specifically said what's in there.
Yeah, go ahead, Demetrius.
can I just like? Are a lot of people thinking that we store extra dick in our scrotum? Is that a thing? Is that where
Just pull it out
you
when you
think
need
it all
it. Is that-
goes?
is
It's
that
like,
not where you
oh,
tuck it in?
you're like, oh my god, I got so much dick, I'm gonna have to shove the rest of this in my scrotum. Whoa,
You guys, I don't
whoa.
want to have to give you a lesson on why it's a good thing, but
I
just
don't
use
know.
your imaginations, okay, and think about it later. But really quick, I do want to say, so just to like reinforce that it wasn't just because of all of his incidents, like they are just naturally like large. And so when he had surgery and the surgeon came out to like talk to me about it and say like he's good, he had the surgery and he's clear, he's like, so, and he was like looking down, would not make eye contact with me, like so very awkward, just a younger guy. He's like, so, you know, he already had like a rather large size in there, like going on. And I was like, yes, I am aware. And he's like, so it might not look so much different, but it will be an improvement. And I was like, okay, great.
Like, you
But
know,
it was
'cause
like
that's
so
not-
awkward for him.
Yeah,
like that's not the conversation doctors train for. They don't
Right.
train for the so just so you're aware, his testicles were already pretty big.
Right.
Right.
And we're like the same age. He's talking to me about ball sacks, and she's like, I don't really know if I'm comfortable with this.
Like
But
you understand your husband was already substantial, right?
right.
Like you know what? You know, him and a nurse stood in the hallway and argued about who was going to tell you this.
Right.
And the nurse was like, I ain't fucking doing it. I don't.
Right.
You're a first year
You're
resident.
the surgeon.
You can have that
You do it.
conversation with
Yeah.
her. I'm not doing this.
Eugenia said, "What is the point for guys to do the nut check game where they just hit each other in the nuts?"
Idiocy.
Yes, I don't know the point. I mean, it's
Is
just
Donnie okay over there?
Donnie.
I was trying to find a
He's
He's trying to
picture.
find a picture of his big nutsack.
Okay, well, I'm like thinking he's like slowly passing out. So
Yeah.
it's not going well over there. Like,
He's feeling very exposed and vulnerable now.
I guess
We just did 25 minutes on Donald's nutsack.
it needed to
I
be
know,
talked
and I'm
about.
loving
It's been
every
a
second
while.
of it.
Yeah.
When I
This is
shared the
quality
feed,
radio right here.
when I
What's that?
shared the feed, I said, "Good morning. We're talking about dicks again. It's what we do."
Unreal.
Always.
Now it's time for our food talk. We'll transition into
I know.
Yeah.
what we do. All right, this portion of the show brought to you in part by our friends over at Teebs.green. Teebs of Adrian. That's Teebz. Demetrius got to take a little ride over to Teebs yesterday.
I did.
What'd you think, D?
Dude, I will tell you probably the best thing about that joint, and no pun intended, is it is a place for like people who have a lot of experience smoking to go, and it's a place where if you don't have a lot of experience, you should go, because they will definitely help you on your journey. So if you hear friends who are like, man, I smoke a little pot, and you've never smoked in your life, and you're like, well, I kind of wonder what this would be like, instead of just blindly going out and getting something, they will talk you through it. They will ask you a ton of questions about how your day goes, what you experience, how you feel. And then they will put you on a path of either indica, sativa, CBDs. It's all that kind of experience, and they don't make you feel dumb. So,
and the other thing that you told me, D, which was very interesting, is they ask you probing questions about your life, and they said, "Hey, D, are you a coffee drinker?" And you're like, I drink a ton of coffee, and that you said that some of it will have effects of some strands of the marijuana will have. Coffee will affect it, so you want to do this or use this or whatever, right?
Caffeine, they were like, you know what, caffeine will definitely affect how this makes you feel. If you drink a ton of coffee, then you really, and no one's ever, I never, who would have you ever run into somebody who smokes and is like, you know what, I was really considering my caffeine intake when
no, never.
Like, no one has done that. I would punch that guy in the face and call him a cop. I would just I'm like, no one says that, cop.
I ordered. I got high once and ordered a pizza because I was out of soda. I wanted more caffeine. I didn't care about it.
Yeah, I think D, you're right about the they don't make you feel stupid, because I had a lot of questions, like and I've smoked I've partaken for a long time, and I had a ton of questions, and they make you feel really comfortable asking all the questions that you want to ask. I love it. I didn't know the difference between indica and sativa until they told me.
Like
so now I know. Did you get the mints by any chance, D?
The mints?
No.
Oh, they have sativa mints that are like energy mints for in the morning. Like they're like you just pop them. I'm totally getting those today. I'll let you know how they go.
Well, and the other thing I think it's cool is even if you don't want to smoke, but if you want to take an edge off, if you have whatever anxiety or whatever, they have
CBD,
things that are legal in 50 CBD that's legal in 50 states.
Actually, I'm picking you some up today. Donnie told me to get them for you. They're legal. They don't do anything. So I'm going to grab you a bottle of gummies today.
She's going to drop them off. They're going to be in a box of Rice Krispie treats. Don't shake real hard.
No, they're going to be in a greasy brown bag, D.
I'm going to write on it, pot.
I'm going to order
just
DoorDash.
Big black letters. I'm going to write pot on the brown paper bag and weed underneath it in case people don't know what pot is.
All right. Does anyone else have anything? Because I got a ton of stuff that I want to roll through. If you guys got anything? Anybody?
Anybody else have weird genitals?
Unless we want to talk about Donnie's balls all day.
No, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Please be
We'll
done.
bring it back up tomorrow.
Yes. I think we've thoroughly emptied that sack.
Yes. Teebs of Adrian, Teebs, Teebz.green. It's actually a website, www.teebs.green. Demi Lovato says she identifies as California sober and still consumes alcohol and marijuana, but in moderation.
That's like the opposite of sober.
But I guess California sober is see, they don't consider weed or social drinking.
Means you're off the hard stuff.
I'm from California. That's called not being sober.
No, but it's changed over the year. You haven't been there in a long time. I'm from California too, but I don't claim that I know.
Yeah. In the last decade, they went from not drinking alcohol or doing drugs, you're sober, to a little bit's fine and you're okay to be sober. Look, that doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. Look, I'll tie it into something that everybody can understand. Everybody loves the king bed, but everybody loves the California king, right? That's a different size.
Yes.
That's a different kind of king.
Yes.
Right? California sober. I think people succeed.
Get it. And people
on
get it.
it's a 90% success rate at California
sou-
sober.
It just sounds like a regular person.
No.
Right?
But
I guess I'm California sober off alcohol too.
Yes, you are.
I mean-
You are. But I think here's what they're saying is that and we'll just take the weed part, because I've talked to Steve Teebs and I've talked to many people. Actually, alcohol is worse for you.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's bad for you, and
It's not good for you.
weed has been around for thousands of years and has not been an issue. So I think as weed becomes more acceptable, then they don't consider, just because if you're smoking weed, you're not considered on drugs because it's part of your medicinal therapy. I mean, it's part of your diet.
Literally a drug.
So, okay.
It's classified as a drug by the government, dude. Just stop.
But
I have a question. I'm talking over people because I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
How come everything that is associated with like not quite following through, we call it California, like California sober, California stop?
Yes.
Like, why
The
do we
work-
do that? What's the deal?
Because that's what they do. They kind of do stuff. It's like you kind of like, hey, I'm California pregnant. Like, oh
What?
shit. Like what? What does that mean? And then, huh? Like, yeah. And then I California paid that bill. What? Like, yeah, I wrote the check out. I didn't put it in the mail.
Right.
Like even Hotel California, you can check out, but you can't check in, but you can't check out.
It's okay. So Demi says that her new documentary, Dancing with the Devil, kind of goes into all this stuff. It debuted at South by Southwest last week, the film festival, and it'll be coming out. Talks about her near fatal overdose, heroin overdose in 2018, and she also revealed that she was raped at 15 and violated by her drug dealer the night that she overdosed. So all that is coming up in her documentary, and we've talked about this before. Demi is one of those amazing women that men and women love. Women want like to hang out with her. Men would like to do her, and so she's really
Well,
got.
she would rather
hang
do
out with
us
her, though?
than do you. So just so you know.
Yeah, I still have a problem with this whole. I mean, I grew up in NA with my mom and my stepfather, and this whole California sober thing sounds like a dangerous message.
It is. I totally agree with you, Tifel. And I really do think because she is such a role model and she went through such a public situation and overdose and all that, to so flippantly say she's California sober is a little irresponsible in my opinion, because there's a lot of people who are younger who are going to look at her and go, well, if she's doing it, then I can. And really, it sounds like she's got a lot of stuff going on. It is better than lying, but it sounds like she's got some stuff still boiling that she's really got to take care of. And so to just go here with that and just be, I don't know how she meant to say it because I didn't hear her say it, but it does seem a little bit like, meh.
Well, Ashley, your points are very well taken. I will say that since us being a headline society and I was a headline guy there too. We don't know how she said it. You're right, but it does seem like it would be flippant. But the other side, I just want to say is that I think because more people, because there's anxieties out of control in this society. Anxiety for being around crowds, anxiety for life. There's a lot of anxiety, and there are a lot of people that are using cannabis to control some of those, as opposed to being on medications. So I think so I'm trying to explain what California sober would be is, hey, we don't want to put a stigma on weed that, hey, you're on drugs, like you're an addict, when you're using that to take care of some of these in lieu of medications that you would normally have had to be on, because there's so many medicinal purposes in cannabis. So
honestly, the alcohol makes me more nervous about that for her.
I agree.
Anyways, so
that part,
very much so. The alcohol, because alcohol leads to bad decisions. Trust me. Just trust me on that.
So, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are going through kind of a nasty divorce.
Wait, they're still going through a divorce?
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie claims she has proof of Brad Pitt's alleged domestic violence, which she says that following Angela, she says that now, and the reports are that since that it was announced that Brad and Angelina were getting a divorce, the world was left shocked. Now that this is the final stage, the two remain broiled in this legal custody, and as such, some messy history between the famous couple has been made public. Jolie has accused Pitt of spousal abuse, and in newly found court documents claim she and her kids are willing to provide proof of it all. Pitt, who is already a strained relationship with his son Maddox, is reportedly heartbroken by Jolie's accusations. More than anything, is worried that this will cause a rift between him and his other children, and that there's a lot of emotion left after their marriage. And he's like, he's just worried that he's in isolation right now. He's not really talking to a lot of people. And he says he's taken responsibility for his actions and owned up to his past issues, that he stopped drinking. There we go again. The marriage was very passionate and toxic at times. Like all couples, they had fights, but also shared many times together. And I think we all know that crazy women are better in bed than non-crazy women. So that's why we get trapped.
I think he had substance abuse problems too, though. So
yeah,
for a while, isn't he in recovery?
That's what he was saying. That alcohol was a bad mother for him. Alex Rodriguez fight to save his relationship with Jennifer Lopez. He has made many problems. Okay, Jen. I'll stop sleeping with other women.
Yeah. So, all right, fine.
He's very brave. He's very, very brave.
You said that
to save your
before.
relationship after.
Right.
I know. A-Rod is doing everything to try to convince Jennifer that their relationship can be saved. Page 6 got a better picture of what he thinks things were like last week. That up until Friday in its breakup report, Lopez has been hopeful their wedding could go on despite their relationship problems. That never works.
Wait, they're not actually married?
She's over 50, so I'm sure she's done with this whole. She's like, yeah. Let's just do it.
You know what
she needs to do?
She needs to just marry. She needs to start dating a high school science teacher. She wants somebody who's just going to be all about her. You don't go to Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez has had vagina thrown at him since he was 16 years old. Yep. 16, and he's 50 now, and the vagina hasn't stopped. It hasn't dried up. There hasn't been a drought of vagina. You haven't seen a weatherman say, Alex Rodriguez, there is a cloud that's not going to drop vagina today. That's never happened. No. He has always been in a rainforest of vagina. And
but I mean, now, so for her perspective, she has been in a sea of wieners too. So it's like maybe she's used to
a rain of vagina and a sea of wieners. I don't know.
That's how it rained into the sea.
Yeah,
but see, and this standard has been absolutely. Men throw themselves at women all the time, but women are more apt to say no to that than famous athletes and rock stars, male.
J-Lo and Puff.
Did you know that love and marriage doesn't stop at genitals? So, like, yeah, it's great. J-Lo's got a vagina, but what about the rest of her? Like,
well,
that's not what we're. I'm not talking.
Gina's got a weird thing about genitals. Remember?
What I'm.
I do. I think the society does.
Is he is not built for marriage.
Monogamy.
He has never been built for marriage or monogamy.
I don't think she is either. I don't think so.
I think women. I think women, and I know we're typecasting now in the year of Me Too. You know, women are the same, but there is no doubt women don't go into marriage to cheat on their man. They go into marriage because they want to be committed. Men go into marriage because the woman is comfortable for him, but that doesn't stop them, a lot of them, from wandering. I mean, it just doesn't. It's just facts.
I mean, is that true for all of you men here who are married? No. I don't think so. So I don't know about that.
Let me finish. Because comfortable. Hold on. Because men can do it without an emotional attachment. If a woman cheats, then there's some sort of emotional attachment she's had with a man that is not that men aren't cool with. Men will go out and have, if they have the opportunity, can go out and, not all. Of course, there are no absolutes. They're not all, but the men will go out and have sex with a woman. There will be no emotional connection at all, and go back home and still love his wife. But I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's just the facts. They do it all the time.
Some guys can live like that. Yes.
Yes, some guys
can.
But I just don't think that she is completely out on this one. Like, I wouldn't call her a complete victim, because I feel like she might have some stuff too
going on. Yeah, going on. I
mean,
we have no idea.
Well, go ahead, Donnie.
We just have no idea the daily dynamics of that relationship. I mean,
right.
All relationships, are hard and have their challenges. And then when you're two of the most famous people in the world, like maybe they went on a month where they didn't even talk to each other. Who knows?
Well, and the other thing too is like as Carlos Diaz once said, who worked for ESPN and CNN and whatever. Carlos would say that athletes have side chicks, and if you're going into a relationship with someone like that, you have to be you okay with it. But women always think they're the one that can change them. But too often it's not the case. When they have their road chicks, they have their chick in Cincinnati, and then they have their chick in. Then
the guy needs to make that clear before he proposes. Make it clear, because if they never have that talk, but if they never have that talk, how is the woman supposed to know after she gets the ring to expect him to still be philandering around different cities?
As Carlos said, every single athlete cheats. He's been in the locker rooms.
Well, first off, that's bullshit. Secondly, how is the woman he's marrying supposed to know she's supposed to accept that if they don't have the discussion?
Yeah,
I have a point really quick too. Like, J-Lo is so like amazing on her own, and she is such like she's like the queen of her thing, right? And he's like the king of his thing. Right. And they seem like two people who really, really need a lot of praise and attention and like affirmations of how great each one is, and maybe they can't give that to each other, and so that's
I would probably lean to say that Alex Rodriguez probably needs that a little bit more since he doesn't play baseball anymore. Yeah. And like J-Lo can jump out on the beach and take a picture in a bikini, and the world sets itself on fire. And then so now all of a sudden you run into a 22, 25-year-old girl who's all about Alex Rodriguez, and he hasn't gotten all about Alex because J-Lo is J-Lo, and she don't need to fucking tell you that you're great. She's, now he's like, holy shit, I love this attention.
Mm-hmm. You and Ashley bring up amazing points, because here's the thing. And when Alex Rodriguez has been the center of the universe for so long, but an athlete's time is limited. If you can sing and dance, you have a lot longer career than if you can hit a baseball. So the last couple interviews I've seen with Alex Rodriguez, he's been holding J-Lo's jacket as she goes and performs at the Super Bowl, or goes and performs at the Grammys, or does something like that. And he's a second fiddle. And Alex Rodriguez has never been the second fiddle in his entire life. So when there is some girl that says, oh my God, you're still the greatest thing that's ever, why would you hold her jacket? You are the greatest thing that's ever lived as far as athletes. I can't believe. And she starts putting that in his head. He's like, yeah, I still got it. I'm going to show you I still got it. And then I totally, you guys are absolutely right.
I still have
Barry Bonds. Like Barry Bonds back in the day, people would be like, oh my God, that's Barry Bonds. He hits a baseball 300 miles. Now they just go, look at that dude with the huge head. Like, that's all he is.
Yeah, that's all he is.
Like, he's a human bobblehead now.
Is he a bounty hunter? Who's Barry Bonds?
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Ashley.
So I was just gonna say, I still have hope for J-Lo and A-Rod. I think they're two people who exactly need each other, but they've got to work through their thing.
But like Dee said, maybe the new thing is gonna be, if you are that famous or have that much money, maybe you need to take the route that the Amazon's wife took, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife took, and it's like, dude, I'm just gonna grab a science teacher.
Not these two of types of personalities. No way.
Look, you need she needs somebody that like is grounded. Like
Yeah.
who has
Mark
who
Anthony
has
was really
been-
close to that.
Skeletor?
Ben Affleck. Ben
No,
Affleck.
neither one of them were close
She
to that.
already
Don't
tried it
Neither
with
one of them
normal.
were close to that.
those aren't normal.
sir.
Mark
Yes,
Anthony
they are.
he was a rock star.
He's
Mark
huge in
Anthony?
that. Yeah, he
Oh
was.
yeah, he's huge in Latin America, but
Yeah.
like not for long and not anymore. So I'm just saying, like he had
There's
his
another
run,
guy.
and
who
I
had his
understand.
fun.
Yeah,
okay.
that's true. Yeah.
So Texas Roadhouse. Everyone loves Texas Roadhouse. I have an issue with Texas Roadhouse because we've had that conversation, I think. So anyway, but Texas Roadhouse's founder has committed COVID-related suicide, which is
I heard about this.
yeah.
What?
His name's Kent Kent Taylor, the man who founded Texas Roadhouse chain, suffered from tinnitus, something that Donnie doesn't suffer from.
Tinnitus.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's ringing in the ears.
Yeah, ringing in the ears.
Or it's when your testicles shrink.
Yeah, that's what
Tinnitus. I know a few of
Tinnitus.
those.
Yes. I'm sorry, sir. It seems like your testicles are shrinking.
Don't kill me. I want large testicles. Tinnitus, ringing in the ears, which his family says greatly intensified in the last days of his life and ultimately became unbearable. At its worst, tinnitus can sound like a jet engine roaring inside the ears constantly. Kent battled and fought hard, but ultimately the suffering became too great. He was a master businessman. He founded Texas Roadhouse back in 1993. He founded on a cocktail napkin, brought to life with the first restaurant in Louisville, Kentucky. There now are 537 in 49 states, 10 international locations. He suffered from it, but apparently flared up in a big way after he contracted COVID. There's data indicating tinnitus is exacerbated by coronavirus.
Wow.
Dude, could you imagine?
Sad.
That's so
Yeah.
happy.
Like-
Yeah, so
like-
sad.
You can't sleep. You can't, like, you close your eyes. You can't leave a room and get away from it. That noise is high and constant.
Well, the frustrating thing too is, I'm sure for him, is you can have all the money in the world, like there's nothing that you want for, and all you want is for your fucking ears to stop ringing, and that's one thing that you cannot do.
That would be
no-
hell for me. I have like a thing with sound. Like if there's if the kids are out here and the TV's on and there's 3 different things going and I'm trying to I because the ADD especially makes it worse. Like I freak out. I get so stabby. But so tinnitus would be like a personal hell for me. It would be awful.
I couldn't imagine.
Probably
I
was
kind of don't want to admit this because you just said it's COVID related, but I actually had it a couple weeks ago so bad for like 2 days straight. And I could not. And it was like obviously a lower level because it wasn't so like that I couldn't do anything else. But it was so annoying. And I cannot imagine having that at such a level that
24/7.
it makes you go insane. Oh,
And finally, I mean, I'm sorry that we're running late, but I had so much stuff, and we had to do 25 minutes on Donnie's balls. So
I mean,
So did Ashley actually.
There's a
short version.
there's a lot of area to cover when you talk
That's
about Donnie's balls.
that's how that's how she got him to give up single life, was spending 20 minutes on Donnie's balls.
that's right.
You spend 20 minutes on anybody's balls. He's gonna give
Ashley,
up.
we gotta
single
go.
life. He
I
will.
know. We do gotta
For the
go.
OnlyFans, do you guys like Scarsack or Frankenweenie? What do you guys want?
Wait, Frankenweenie's a kid's movie. Don't do it.
It's like a
yeah,
ghost.
Frankie Weenie might be a trademark infringement.
Yeah, I
Go
know.
ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Gina.
I said he should do both, like a ghost kitchen, but have like the same balls, but
No.
2 different shows.
Oh,
Like a-
you should call it
Like a ghost penis.
yeah,
Amazing.
or
Oh
zombie cock. Zombie cock.
Voice work done by Demetrius.
Fear the walking head.
I like
don't hate
how
it.
this is the exact moment she decided to put Teebs up on the screen.
Yeah.
Fear the walking head. Teebs.
Mad Sack Beyond Thunderdome.
We could do this all day. There's
I know.
All right. Well, Tifel, I took a lot of your time, which I apologize for. Again, you really have to blame Donnie Sack. But I did want to talk real quick about this. Did you hear about Colorado? They had that.
Oh, you're taking more of my time. Okay.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm taking
I'm
your
gonna
time, but I'm gonna take more.
Before you get going on that, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Go ahead. WTF News with Ebenezer Bushrod. Go ahead,
I
brother.
have like 5 minutes, so.
Okay, 5 minutes.
All right. Well, first thing, I just want to give you guys a quick announcement. If you've already got your COVID shot or you're going to get your COVID shot, make sure to hang on to your card because you can take it over to Krispy Kreme and get a free donut a day
Hell yeah.
with verification that you got your vaccine.
Hold
Wow.
on. So I want
On
to say
there.
something about that really quick that I saw on the beautiful Facebook about. I saw someone comment, "Oh yeah, look at Big Pharma getting you unhealthy and keeping you unhealthy, like eating the donuts." And I
Oh.
kind of thought it brought up a good point, so I did kind of want to dabble in that and see what that means to anyone else because I can kind of see it. I mean,
One
No one's
donut a
making
day
you
is
go
not
get
gonna
a donut.
adversely-
I mean, no,
I mean, if you go to Krispy Kreme, you're probably not going to just get your one donut.
well, yeah, I think that's more marketing.
I would,
than-
but I'm cheap.
It's more marketing than Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Big Pharma, I think, because like Donnie said, or one of you said, you're gonna. Their bet is you're gonna get more than one donut, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna go alone and get
Yes,
one
you're
donut.
gonna be unhealthy. So then you're going to be overweight, and then you have to stay tapped into the big business.
I think there's no doubt, and I don't think you have to be a conspiracy theorist to say that Big Pharma, there's money in keeping us sick and on medication. I mean,
Agreed.
there is. I mean, I think that they've had that discussion in some sort of boardroom. Now, whether it crosses the ethical line where they're like, we're going to squash cures so that we can keep you on there, I don't know. I mean, but
here's.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, real quick. Look, I know everybody would like to blame Big Pharma. Big Pharma, is doing this to us and doing that to us. You know what? If we had enough fortitude and self-control and exercised and did those things, then you wouldn't be in a position where you needed to be on medication all the time. Now,
Yes,
there
sir.
are people who need that medication, and I'm not going to hate on that. We've made great strides with pharmaceuticals. But you know what? There's got to be a point in your lives where you have to stop blaming people because of the fucking condition that you're in. You have control. If you don't want to be on blood pressure medication, dude, fucking walk a little bit.
yeah, but
How about that?
a self-control society is so easy to throw out there though, because you look at Facebook, you look at social media addiction. Their goal is to exploit you, and they take your information and they feed you things that they know that you're going to like because of your history. They know everything about you. So I mean, if you can't just say, well, stay off social media then.
But see, here's the thing,
They're
though.
manipulating
We
you for profit.
But you know what? We willingly gave that up. You willingly gave it up. You gave them your information because
That's where I don't know.
you wanted all this other stuff, So
But it's-
you were the one who wanted to post pictures of your kids at Cedar Point. You're the one who wanted to take, not you, Ashley, but
What the hell?
like just specifically.
Yeah, wait, what?
Like
I felt personally
people are
attacked
so
for
fucking
her.
quick to show, the things that they like, the things that they do, and then they go, "Well, these companies use this information." You gave it to them.
Yeah,
you gave it to them.
No.
I
No.
want to be marketed to more efficiently.
I gave it to them so that my mom and my other family members can be more part of what are the experiences that we are sharing than they could before. I mean, they
Call
can,
them.
even though they're out of town, they could feel like they're there.
D, stop it.
Yeah.
D,
Somebody didn't read the
You
EULA.
know what? You're just playing that other side so hard right now. I don't even
I'm
believe
just-
a damn word you're saying.
Look, all I'm saying is this: if you want your family to feel more part of your family, then make them more part of your family.
I agree
Do not-
with what you're saying.
Do not send them pictures and go, "Oh, wish you were here." And then, because really, all that really is just trying to tell people how perfect you are. Show the shitty parts. You know what? Show the fact that you're sleeping on a couch one day because your dumbass called your wife fat one day, and it was the biggest mistake of your fucking life. Then How
I
about
would
that?
love that, but no, because then when you do, because I did, I overshare sometimes, and then people think you're a complainer, people think you're depressed, and people think you're this. That's why people only show the shiny stuff, because no one wants to hear the bad stuff.
Well,
You've got enough bad stuff going on. I don't want to hear about your real life, because
Ashley,
I've got a real life too. You know what I mean?
You're 100% right, Ashley. And here's the problem: is because it's what our brain remembers. So let's say you share something shocking and it's bad, okay? And then you can, like for me with politics, everyone says, oh, all you do is talk about Donald Trump. But then what I would do is I would count my posts. So I said, look, I had 16 non-Donald Trump posts, and then I had one Donald Trump, and then I had 12, and then I had one Donald Trump. But people would react to the Donald Trump post. So that would push it up in their news feeds. So now everything I talk about ever is Donald Trump, when the numbers prove that that's not the case. But social media will manipulate you. It's not just, hey, what's coming up in your feed next. No, they manipulate your whole feed to look like that. So when you complain, those posts are going to get pushed up more into your feed. So now it looks like all you do is complain, even though there's other posts where you don't. But it's social media is
like a confirmation bias. Facebook's kind of like confirmation bias, basically.
Yeah.
So you see all of the things that you agree with.
Right.
Over and over.
Facebook is a company. Facebook is not a utility. It is not oxygen. It is not like, this is the thing. This isn't the public library. We use a private company. That's what we use. And then we demand that this company, whose product that everybody throws all their fucking information on, take some kind of social responsibility. It's a private company.
Act ethically?
Weird.
Ethically, they provide you with a platform.
What?
And then they feed you all the shit that you want.
But it's I'm surprised Tifa's not saying anything, but it's the boiling frog. It's the boiling frog analogy, though. So if you're if a frog's in water, he's not going to try to jump out, and then all of a sudden you start turning the temperature up, and he's hanging out in there, and all of a sudden it's so hot that he boils himself to death. But it wasn't scalding hot right away, because you put him in, he would jump right out. It's just like us. If Facebook would have told us at the beginning that this is how much information and how intrusive we're going to be, then they would have got much more pushback. But because they boil frogged us, we've come to this point. So you can't blame us because we want to share pictures with our parents, or our kids, or parents, pictures of our parents to our whatever,
pictures of our kids to our parents.
Thank you.
We got you.
That you can't then just say, oh, well, it's all your fault. No, they've done that. They've incrementally started to invade more and more until now they're the bad Superman or bad Spider-Man, where they've just engulfed you in their fucking costume. Go ahead, Tifel.
Yeah, they told you since day one that every picture you post on Facebook belongs to them, and they share your information with advertisers, and they update their privacy policies and their policies on a regular basis, and send you notification about those updates. The fact that you didn't read them is your own damn fault.
Shut your peach pie hole. It's ridiculous. Go ahead. What's your
People's just hoping someone picks up his food picture so he can get a gig somewhere.
Right? I know.
My food is delicious.
He's like, everyone sees my picture.
Hey, I have no qualms about what Facebook is. That's why I don't put any real things that much of any real things or stuff. If you can actually go, you can actually go through.
I love how
you guys can actually go into Facebook and see what they think about you. Like, they'll list off what they think your political party is. They'll list off what they think your interests are, all this stuff. And I guarantee you, last time I looked at it, they were wrong on like 90% of it, because I don't present my real self.
I love how all you dudes are personal responsibility and everything's perfect in your life. But unfortunately, everyone is not built the same and not wired the same. So your addiction and weaknesses is not his addiction and weaknesses. And we have to realize that everyone has some sort of weakness that's if someone exploits it, it's bad. It just because that's not what you get exploited by. It's what they get exploited by. For instance, maybe for one person, it's McDonald's cheeseburger and you're mad at McDonald's, and the other person, they're smoking and it's the cigarette company that's manipulating you. So it doesn't. Yeah,
because the cigarette company has exploited you, just so you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's documents out there
and did for a really long time.
Yeah,
okay.
For a long time.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying what I am saying is I know that I have weaknesses that are exploitable. I am aware of those weaknesses, and I am vigilant when it comes to trying not to be exploited. I smoke not because Marlboro tells me that I should have cigarettes. I smoke.
What do you think you started smoking for in the first place? It was labeled as cool. It marketed to you that a cool dude smokes a cigarette. Yes. Okay. That's how little you know. That's how little you know that about marketing.
Ashley, no.
Because exactly what happened.
You, that's how little you know about me. Is because I didn't start smoking because I saw a commercial. I started smoking because it was the only way that I could get a break when I was on the flight deck on a Marine helicopter carrier. That was the only way I could get a break. So I started smoking. It wasn't because I saw, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, or I saw a cool person. There was another reason why I started smoking.
But you looked cooler.
Dee's reason is a lot cooler when you did it. Mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Dee's reason is a lot cooler than mine. Mine was I got to spend more time with my mom because she smoked. That was it. Dee's hanging off aircraft carriers in a freaking fight.
But here, hold on. What's
in my mom's bedroom?
Hold on, but what you guys are missing the point of the main reason you started smoking, but it's why you continued. It's why you couldn't stop. It's the reinforcement of the manipulation. Just because that's not why.
I think it's the addiction of the nicotine.
Just because I didn't see Joe Cool and that made me go light up a cigarette, but what Joe Cool did is reinforce that it's still cool to do it, what you were already doing. So I'm not saying that we're not saying that you see something and all of a sudden you're going to go do it, but it's all these images, it's all this subliminal messaging that you.
Yeah, and I do want people to understand that smoking does not make you cool. Smoking is just what cool people do.
People give us your most important story right now.
All right. Joel Whitaker was indicted on several felony counts when he says he was dumpster diving in an industrial area and noticed the loading dock was partially open. So he, naturally went inside where he found pallets and pallets of Girl Scout cookies. So he did what comes natural and started loading up his car with Girl Scout cookies.
Now he's got a felony?
Yeah, he stole, ended up being over $1,200 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
So 5
boxes.
Yeah. He took 23 it was a total of 23 cases that he ended up taking. And he also was eating them while he was taking them. And they also found wrappers in his car as he was driving away. He was eating them. They saw him driving away from the industrial area. They thought it was suspicious, pulled him over. That's when they noticed the Girl Scout cookies and everything unraveled. No, they said that he didn't focus on a certain type. He took a little bit from every pallet, took many different flavors.
Oh, yes.
Gotta have choices.
That's so you don't notice. If you take them all from one pallet, you're like, oh, a whole pallet's missing. If you just take a few from each pallet, then you don't notice you get the same amount. Go ahead, D. What are you going to say?
And I think I did a show a long time ago, and I went to go get paid, and this cat paid me
in Girl Scout cookies?
In $1,500 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
Was his name Joel?
Dude, it was so fucking funny because I was like, you know what? So mad. I was mad, but I'm like, I cannot not take these. And then it took Kara and I like 3 months to sell $1,500 worth of fucking Girl Scout cookies.
That's amazing.
But you ended up making $1,500 for one night of work. Of course, it stretched over 3 months.
Right? I know. I'm like, honey, she's like, did he pay you? And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to take us like 4 trips back and forth to the car to get my check into it.
Oh my God. I would have been so mad.
But Josh is a great way to end the show. I need Kazakhstan news, not this bullshit Samoa theft story. Tighten up, people.
I can't help it if the stands didn't do anything interesting today.
All right, for Ebenezer Bushrod, WTF News, Chris Tiefel, and Demetrius Nicodemus, and Ashley P, who I love.
I love you, Andrew.
P and Gina and Tammy.
The rest of us are chopped liver.
Thank you, Tammy, for steering the boat tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.